What's up, y'all? This is Greg Owens, and you're now tuning in to the Greg Owens Podcast. Let's go. Hey, yo, this is episode 2 of the Greg Owens Podcast, and I ain't gonna hold you. This is the first episode since November of 2020. It's been 4 years since the last episode. It's my first episode. I ain't gonna hold you. This podcast thing I had got me nervous, man. Like talking on a microphone with like no music in the background, and just me in the microphone or me in the microphone and other people. It's kind of nerve wracking. So as I'm doing more of this, I'm going to get more comfortable, and as people want to hear more about. As people want to hear this podcast, I'm going to continue to do the podcast, This is more so of me trying to elevate myself as a communicator and just bring the stories that, people might want to hear, and I just want to share, my life stories and, like, my perspective on things. So this episode is about a time in my life, a pivotal time in my life, and this episode is called Popular. Now, today is November 20th, 2024. This is the time I'm recording it. And this week, the movie Wicked is coming out, right? The movie Wicked is coming out on November 22nd. The movie is based on the actual play Wicked. And it's funny how the universe worked, because back in 2011, I released my first ever music video called Popular, which samples the song Popular from the stage play Wicked. And so I'm just here reflecting on that time. I'm going to give you the background story of how the Popular came about, and I'm also going to tell you how that song impacted my life. But before we get into that, I actually want to play you the song I released back in 2011. It was off my project the project at the time called School Days, which I released after my senior year of high school, the summer after my senior year of high school. So before I dive into the meaningful impact of what Popular did for my life and other people's lives, I'm going to play the song. So sit back, enjoy yourselves, and if you're in your car, jam to it. This is Popular.
Show you what shoes to wear, how to fix your hair, everything that really counts to be.
Wake up in the morning and it's time to get dressed. Got a list up in my head for girls I wanna impress. Gonna walk to school, but I ain't trip, but relax. All the girls like it do with a whip. So instead of that, I had to kill her with a charm. Figured I could be the one with girls in both arms. But most of the bras that I knew, like the pants were low. Kinda sorry, guess I really felt like a low blow. People diss, cause I used to wear a lot of polo. So every day at lunch I was a no-show. Always to myself and nobody to talk to. Was an outcast in these halls I walked through. I told myself, man, it's time for a change. Before I graduate, they gon' remember my name. One of my homies came up to me and said, bro, just wait, cause one day you gonna be
I'll help you be popular.
That's right.
I know I'm popular.
Yeah.
I know I'm popular.
Oh, really?
I know I'm popular.
You think so?
I'll help you be popular.
Okay.
I know I'm popular. I know I'm popular. I know I'm popular.
People said I was the man in the band. Guess when I played the beat, I make them dance in the stands. It felt good being recognized, but really at the same time, I was so surprised. Did a lot of things so it caught people's eye. I told y'all I'ma make the best of Northland High. Went from bands to theater, from theater to track. Still love music, so I continue to rap. Kinda sorry that I didn't make homecoming court, cause really it was kinda my dream. I was cool with everybody, but really didn't know how popular I was till I won prom king. I guess my homie was right. First I walked in the dark, but now I'm seeing the light. Always strive just to be myself. Cause ain't no reason to be somebody else. That's why I was.
I'll help you be popular. I know I'm popular.
Oh really?
I know I'm popular.
Okay.
I know I'm popular.
School
I'll help you be
days.
popular.
Yeah.
I know I'm popular. I know I'm popular.
Let me hear you sing. Woo! Uh-huh. Yeah. Sing. Shout out to the Fly Boys. Shout out to all the ladies in SWAT. Yeah. Shout out to my homies, my circle. You know y'all is. Hey. Shout out to my whole city. 614, what up? And I produced this beat, by the way.
I'll help you be popular.
I'm out.
I know I'm out popular. I know I'm out popular. I'll help you be popular. I know I'm out popular. I know I'm out popular. I know I'm out popular.
Yeah, so that was my song
You're gonna
Popular,
be
which was released back
popular.
in 2011. And I wanted to share that song for the people who are familiar with my music, who's been following me for a long time, who remembers that time in that era, who remember when that song came out. I also want to play it for the ones that forgot about it, or for the people that didn't know about the song. I just wanted y'all to listen to how it sounded and what the song sounded like, you know? So again, in honor of the Wicked movie coming out on November 22nd, once again, I'm recording this on November 20th. The universe has a funny way of doing things, so it made me go back to a time where, you know, I got my first taste of buzz, right? So background story of how I even like came up into that song, particularly that sample. So, you know, I like to watch YouTube. You know, I watch YouTube all the time, you know, see what's, especially around that time. So one of my favorite artists is Ye. One of my favorite producers is Ye, aka Kanye West. So there was a video, this is around the time he was making Dark Fantasy. I think that was around the time. Yeah, around the time he was making Dark Fantasy. And there was a video footage of him in the studio. His girlfriend at the time, Amber Rose, was in the studio. All of a sudden, he was making his beat off the sample. You know, Kanye likes to sample. So all of a sudden, I hear this sample, and the sample goes, popular. I know about popular. And I was like, yo, that like really like, you know, the antennas in my ears was like going, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what is this? Like, what is this song? And so I try to look for it, you know what I'm saying? I found out it was from the Wicked stage play. So I never seen the stage play, and I still have not seen the stage play, but I do like that song, Popular. I immediately liked the woman's voice who sung it because it was distinct, and it was kind of like, you know, very theatrical in a way. It kind of reminded me of that Annie song that Jay-Z sampled for Hard Knock Life. It kind of gave me that feel. So I couldn't find the beat. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to make my own version of it, right? So I quickly found the song, and, you know, I made the beat off of FL Studio, Fruity Loops at the time. And you know, I didn't really do much with it. It was fun making that beat and chopping those samples and everything. And so again, around 2011, that was when I graduated high school. So sometimes when I write songs, like, not sometimes, a lot of times I like to write songs based on my experience in life. And, you know, that particular sample, that particular song, I immediately thought about my high school experience from my freshman year into my senior year. I went to Northland High School in Columbus, Ohio. So shout out to all my Northland alum, all my Northland Vikings. Wherever y'all at, shout out to y'all. Shout out to all my classmates, and shout out to the people that I went to Northland with too. So I remember being in high school, you know, at that time I'm still making music at my house, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm making beats, I'm making songs, you know what I'm saying? I'm just doing this for fun. And I think around 2011 is when I actually like really took it seriously. Like, man, I can really do something with this because I was improving on my rapping and my writing skills and my recording skills and my beat skills. And so I was known for making beats. Also I was in a school band. Like I was the band geek. You know what I'm saying? Like I was being one of the few African American boys, young men in the band. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I was known for. I was known for being the drummer, being in the drum line. Me being in marching bands, playing drum cadences that everybody would go crazy. I was known for that, but also, you know, I also noticed that I was a little different from everybody else because a lot of, especially like the guys, most of them like was like into like sports. I mean, I did sports too. I did track and field, and I was pretty damn good at it too. I ain't gonna hold you. But most of the guys, where it's like was talking sports or people was like freestyling all the time, and people was like riffing each other. You know what I'm saying? Like and, is into girls and everything. And I'm like the art kid. I was into girls too, but I was like that art kid, and like I was dressing different than everybody else at that time. Back in those days, like everybody wore like big ass clothes, and I was wearing like jeans that fit me and collared shirts, and what I'm saying, I was looking good. Like I ain't gonna hold you. Like my parents, especially my mom, like I went to high school with a good fit, but I'm like. If anything, I've been observing, especially like my freshman year, like '07, like, you start to see like how like other kids your age or upperclassmen, how they act. And like, I'm noticing like a lot of the girls that, was like popular back in those times, like they like the rough around the edges dudes, the jocks and all that stuff. And it was like, I have this art kid. Here I am, the art kid. I'm like into music. I'm into theater, I don't have much in common with a lot of my contemporaries, a lot of the students, you know what I'm saying? Like, in my freshman year, I didn't really hang out with my freshman class. I didn't even eat lunch with my freshman class because I had a band class. I think I had a jazz band class. And so my freshman year, lunchtime, like, I was in the band room. Like, I was making music. Like, I was always been this way. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really have much in common. I couldn't really riff with nobody. I couldn't really, like, I don't know, man. I just felt different from everybody. You know what I'm saying? I felt, and I know that there are other students that felt that way too. I'm just speaking on my experiences, And I did have a couple friends, but as we got older, most of my friends back then, they started dispersing in other friend groups. So it was like, I was kind of like a loner. I've always kind of been like that, but I was pretty much a loner. But throughout high school, I was cool with everybody. I didn't have no problems with nobody. So I always make sure I was respectful, cool with everybody that came in contact with me, even if we're just not friends. Like even just, just walking through the hallways. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just cool with everybody. And I think that in a combination of me being active, especially with the extracurricular activities with band, theater, and I also did track, and I was also good at all these things. That's what got me known in the school, And so by the time my senior year hit, I think everything's just kind of just, fell into place how it should. I actually gained some friends that were like-minded, that was into the same things that I was into. I didn't make homecoming court, but a lot of people said I was going to make a photo from me, but that's a whole different subject. I feel like somebody tanked those votes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But fast forward to prom, I did win prom king. You know what I'm saying? I did feel good. And that let me know like people was watching. People was looking at me. People, people rock with me. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes like it happens to me to this day. Sometimes I don't know if people rock with me until they actually like tell me or I get recognized. You know what I'm saying? I don't be knowing. I still I don't know. But it just felt good, and reflecting on those times, reflecting on my high school days, and especially my school days and everything I've been through. I wanted to talk about that in Popular, and that was in me sampling Popular. That was just a great way to go about the song. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna hold you. So I put that song on the project at the time called School Days, right? So I had different songs on there that I liked better than Popular. So I didn't particularly, I ain't gonna hold you. I didn't particularly care for Popular. I thought it was good, but I was like, I'm gonna put it there in the middle of the project. And so I released that in the summer of 2011. So the project School Days. So, people that heard it was like, yo, the School Days project was fire. But that Popular song, like, that song right there was like that was like everybody's favorite. I'm talking about everybody's favorite. Everybody kept saying, yo, I really love that Popular song. I really love how you flipped that sample Popular. Like, it reminds me of that Hard Knock Life. And to be honest with you, like, I didn't really reflect on the fact of how authentic that song was because of, again, I wrote it based on my experiences, but at the time, I was like, it was just another song for me. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of didn't really appreciate it until other people told me that was their favorite song on the project. And so by the time I got to Columbia College Chicago that fall, because remember, like, at that time, I was in the college groups and everything. Like, all the freshmen was like getting to know each other. We was all excited and everything. And so at that time on Facebook, especially on Facebook, we had like in the middle names, like they put like their names. So let's say like my name was, at that time my name was Greg, Super Producer Owens. One might say Nate, Super Swagged Up Pearson. You know what I'm saying? Like we was giving each other like our own nicknames as our middle name on Facebook, right? And so as I got to campus, like my song was getting some recognition because I was sharing my song with the incoming freshmen. And, that freshman year, my freshman year at Columbia College Chicago, especially like that first semester, that fall semester, was crazy. Like, we was partying, we was having fun, we was going to all these different events. We was just excited to be there. But the crazy thing about it was like a lot of people like recognized me. They'd be saying like, "Oh my God, you're Greg Super Producer Owens. You're Greg Super Producer Owens. Oh, there go Greg Super Producer Owens." I'm like, "Oh shit, this is crazy, right?" And so again, I'm promoting my song. So now I'm kind of getting a little buzz, and like I perform, and also like I performed this song at like different events, during that fall semester because again, like we was just art kids. Like Columbia College it's an art school, so like we was just all like excited to just be around different art kids, and like we was all just getting in just as artists, no matter what we did. And so it kind of got me thinking. I'm like, oh wow, I'm surrounded by all these artists. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I can find a videographer to actually do a video to it. You know what I'm saying? To like really take this to a whole another level. And so once I got to Columbia and I started, meeting different people, I came across this guy, Tyler Babb, videos, because he's a videographer and editor as well. And so basically, I saw his work and I'm like, and I messaged him like, yo, I would like to shoot a video to my song Popular, which would be down. And he said, yeah. And so I pretty much came up with the concept and everything, like, and it was all made in my dorms. Like the what was it called? It was called the I'm sorry, y'all. I'm recording this in real time, so if I'm like flub or mess up or anything like that, please bear with me because I'm trying to remember everything. I probably should have wrote this down, but I came up with the concept. And Tyler was down for it, and I found hella people that wanted to be a part of it. The friends and people that that I've met during that time at Columbia, and we shot the video. It was a 2-day process. It was fun. I had my roommates there, my suite mates there. Like I said, a lot of people showed up and showed love because it was a music video, man. People love to be a part of music videos, and so. Fast forward, we dropped the video November 18th, 2011, and the video went stupid. The video went stupid. Crazy. So at that time, I'm like, oh shit, I'm getting buzzed. I wonder how far I'm gonna take this. So Chicago, me being in Chicago, you know, it's endless opportunities. So at that time, me being from Columbus, going to Chicago, obviously Chicago's a bigger market, and I wanted to seize the opportunity and try to figure out how to blow up, especially in Chicago, because at that time Chief Keef was blowing up. I think Chance the Rapper was about to blow up at that particular time. And also, I was making a name for myself on campus. So the video was going around campus like crazy. Like, and when I tell you about like going viral, like at that time that was going viral, especially on campus. So it was getting big. It was getting big around campus. So, you know, networking with people talking about it, people playing at their boutiques, people playing at the events on campus. I'm performing on campus. Like, it's going crazy. You know what I'm saying? And also had an opportunity to be on 92.3 in Chicago, like one of the biggest hip hop and R&B stations in Chicago. And that song got played. That was my first ever song getting played on the radio. And it felt so good to have my song on the radio and it's being played on a large market. Let me tell you about the video, though. The video, as of now, I think it's over 25,000 views with no blog help. No blog help at all. Nobody, you know, the blog era, that was back in those times. And, you know, I sent it to the blogs and they didn't post it. But I got over 25,000 views off YouTube with no blog help. That was organic. But at that same time, like, I thought I was gonna blow up after that. But ultimately it didn't happen at that time. And you know, I was a little salty about that. But God's timing is always the best time. So that was a great experience for me to go through. You know, just have a little bit of buzz and just be like, have people like listen to my music in that type of way. And it really gave me the confidence to be like, you know what? People actually do rock with my music, you know? Life happened, you know, things happen, things I had to learn. I really wasn't ready for success, honestly. But I think at that time, me being 18 years old, what resonated with people was the authenticity of my song. And also the sample gave it more of a like a worldwide appeal. And I didn't want to like make a song that you could not listen to. I wanted to make a song where everybody could listen to. And growing up, one of my favorite artists was Will Smith. You know, the fact that he was comedic, he was a storyteller, he didn't cuss on his lyrics, you know, but still had those bops. He still had those worldwide samples that worldwide appealed and that everybody could listen to. And that's the type of impact that I wanted to make, and that's the type of impact that I still want to make to this day. You know, I've been making music for a very, very, very long time. I'm only 31 years old in a long time. I would say I've been making music, my own music, since about 13 years old. And, you know, when I first started making music, I was talking about guns. I was cussing a lot. You know, some things that I didn't really understand or know about, but I had to be reminded, you know, from my folks that, you know, it's okay to be yourself. It's okay to talk about your life experiences. And from that point on, that's what I strive and that's what I continue to do to this day. I want to make the music feel good to you, but also want to, you know, make music in a way that everybody can listen to. You don't have to like it, but you can listen to it. You know what I'm saying? And so really popular song was I basically made it for the youth. You know, there's a lot of peer pressure. There's a lot of pressure to be a part of what society, People, the internet is crazy, social media is crazy, suicide amongst youth is at an all-time high. And for anybody that's listening right now that has a child, or if you're a child right now, I just want to let you know right now, it is okay to be yourself. The world needs more authenticity, and for all the youth out there who struggle with peer pressure, who struggle with trying to fit in, especially with social media and everything like that, I just want to let you know right now, like, it's okay to be you, Not everybody's going to like you. You might not be the most popular person, but if you just be yourself, you're going to find people that love you. You're going to find people that accept you for who you are, because that's really all it's about. Being popular, to me, it's not about trying to fit in with everybody else. Being popular is about standing out and being uniquely you. And that's the message that I wanted to get across with this song, Popular. And I appreciate the impact that it had made in my life back in those times and still is to this day. Again, I celebrate this song because it was a pivotal time in my life. It was the first time I ever got a taste of buzz, especially on a regional tip, and so I've learned a lot through those times. And honestly, now that I think about it, I feel like that song, for me, making that song was ahead of its time. But now, almost 15 years later, reflect on this song while the movie Wicked is coming out. I just wanted to reflect it, and I wanted to talk about it on my podcast, was because people love to get background stories about how songs came about and what go through your mind, and so I just wanted to share that with you guys, that for those of you that was with me during those times, I want to say thank you. For those of you that still listen to the song or my music just in general, I thank you. Again, be you, be your authentic self. God made us all unique. And it's okay to be you. It's okay to love yourself. So you don't got to do everything to be popular. You don't got to do what everybody else is doing. If you have a light within you, don't be afraid to let it shine, because people will see it, And the people that get mad about it, that's not on you. It's on them. So today's message is, again, be yourself. And once you be yourself, you never know how many people will be impacted by it. So, again, I wanted to keep this brief. I know it's probably like 20-something minutes on the podcast. Like, I'm getting long-winded. I'm getting tired of talking. For real. But I wanted to share that experience with you, and I will share many experiences with you as I get more comfortable doing this podcast. So, again, in honor of the movie Wicked coming out on the 22nd. Again, today is November 20th. As I record this, I wanted to share that experience with you guys because, again, like, the coincidence of the anniversary of my music video coming out in 2011 during this week, and also a Wicked movie coming out, I thought it was fitting to have a reflective commentary on that song in that particular time of my life. So again, make sure you tap into the Greg Owens podcast. Follow me everywhere at Greg Owens Official. Check out my music. Check out everything, man. Like, I got so many things that I got in store that's coming. It's in a tuck right now, but y'all gonna feel this energy. Y'all gonna feel this energy. You know what I'm saying? Especially within this next year. So again, thank you guys for listening. And this has been episode 2 of the Greg Owens podcast. Also, if you haven't checked out the music video, or if you feeling a little bit nostalgic, make sure you go on YouTube and search Greg Owens Popular. You can hear the song and you can see the visual. Again, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'm out.